Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts this evening, Michael, followed by other host, Kat.
Hello.
And other host, Sage.
Yeah.
It's Anime Club.
Woohoo!
Welcome to episode 100.
Wow.
We're,
Go us.
We're 4 episodes away from 2 years.
Yay.
Who would have thunk? I'd say it'd be a hard journey, but really, we just have to show up every week.
I was going to say.
I mean,
sometimes we don't
even do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but also, that had to do with work.
We
and
lost them in
busyness
the
and
war.
whatnot.
Yeah.
It was a bloody war.
Yep.
There could only be one guy. And it was at my house, so.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Plot twist. Mike leaves the podcast, but Kat and I keep coming here to record it.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, you already built a set, so could we just
Yeah.
leave it here and we'll just show
And
up.
leave us all your equipment and your laptop and everything else.
And help us record because
Yeah.
we don't know how to do the sound.
Right.
And still edit it for us because we don't do that either. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, no
We're
problem.
the talent.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's what happened when Colin and Mike first asked me if I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I have nothing to offer but coming and speaking. And they're like,
Yeah.
that's perfect. I was like, okay.
that was pretty much exactly what it was, yeah.
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 Also, we were like, yeah, well, you started watching anime too, so.
It was already like a year.
I was going to
No, I
say,
know.
you
That's
were
what I'm
already
saying.
like.
No, but I mean,
weren't
like, you
as
were already,
deep,
like.
deep weeb as you are now, I feel.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because I think we technically asked you before Sage.
Yeah.
But, like, if we did, it was very soon beforehand because you were working
I was going
that
to say,
day,
I think
too.
you might have asked me like literally the next day.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the point. Today's the Anime Club
Well, it
episode.
could be the point because it's our 100th episode.
Well, that
That's
could
a
be the
special
2-year
number.
episode.
2 years.
It's a special number, just saying.
But also, well, we didn't do anything for 50, I don't think.
No, we didn't. But
We
the
barely
50
did anything for our
but
year
100
episode.
50 is less special than 100.
Yeah.
The
100
only
is way
thing we
more
did for our
special.
year episode was like going, hey, it's been a year. Also, we have a completed set.
Yeah.
That was the only thing we did.
Yeah.
Well,
And we talked about like the show, how it became existing. So like, I feel like we'd just be redundant if we did that again for 54.
But more people exist now.
That is true. We are almost at 100,
100 for 100
subscribers. Yeah.
But we
There
didn't
you
make
go.
it.
We're actually
close.
episode 94 just came out, but if we get one more subscriber, that's an subscriber per episode.
woohoo!
Anyway,
We'll hit 1,000 subscribers when we make the 1,000th episode.
God.
how many years is that?
That's a little over 3.
No, that's
That's
way more.
way
than that.
more than 3
Way
years.
more than 3. We're at
'Cause it's
104
52
is 2
episodes
years.
per year.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
So 2 years is 100.
It's going to take a long time.
yeah, sure is.
Damn.
So what's that, 20 years?
I feel like
for
I have to
1,000
bring my
episodes?
baby
Something like
onto the podcast. I couldn't find anyone to watch them. It's okay.
Anyway.
Just give him a microphone.
Yeah. we'll have like a baby cam in the corner. Crib cam.
Crib cam.
Anyway,
That's when Sage quits.
that's what
Sage
Sage
is like, I'm out.
no babies anywhere on my podcast.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Again,
Anyway.
for the 40th time. Anyway, it's Anime Club. Kat, this was your
Yay.
pick.
Yes.
So, talk about it.
We watched Call of the Night, which was last season before that.
I think it came out in 22.
I think it was summer.
Yeah,
Summer.
summer
Yeah.
of 22.
Recent.
I'm gonna pull it up. but-
Very recent, though.
Yeah. And it's basically about a kid who sneaks out of his house. He's not going to school. And ends up meeting a vampire and about their adventures together. Pretty much.
Does he have... I know he has a mom, but, like, where the fuck is this woman?
I like that
I don't know.
he kept saying he had to sneak out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want. We're not in spoilers yet, but like.
That's literally
That's
the
the first
opening of the
episode.
No,
show.
because
How
we
is
don't
that a
find
spoiler?
because in the first episode he sneaks out, but then later they're like,
No, in like the 4th episode or something, he's like, "Wow, I'm so good at sneaking out now.
No, I
if
know,
I do
but-
say so myself."
but there's a point I want to bring up, but I don't want
All right, we'll get
Okay,
there.
whatever.
It's cool.
to. Anyway, yeah. So I guess was that your synopsis?
Yeah, I mean,
All right, yeah.
most of it's spoilers, so that's
That's true.
the best I could do.
Fair enough. Well, I guess we don't have to stay on general thoughts for very long. We just kind of
Yeah.
generalize. But
Yeah.
hey,
It's short,
you want a
13
better vampire
episodes.
show than the last vampire show we watched? Watch this one because it's
Yeah.
actually good.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? So I was watching like the first couple of episodes, and Mark was watching it with me, and he went, "Wait, is this another vampire show?"
Yes, very on brand. I happened to be watching this vampire show while I was watching your vampire show. And I was like, we should watch a better vampire show.
Yeah, this was summer of 2020.
Mike's pick is Vampire Night,
Or
actually.
2022.
Continue the theme.
Sure. No.
We only watch vampire shows
From
now.
here on out.
I mean, there's more than enough.
Yeah,
so
there
we
are a
actually
lot.
could. I don't want to, but we
Yeah, I
could.
was like, not a lot of them are good though.
Yeah.
Mars Red's not bad, but I'm not gonna recommend Mars Red. At least not now. But yeah, I think that I think the show was really fun. It didn't do my usual trap that I hate, which is like, here's the new girl, and then, oh, hey, the character has a best friend character, but they also love him, so then which one are you going to root for? Definitely didn't get that vibe from this, which
They
was
definitely
nice.
made it seem like it was going there, though.
For
Yeah.
a bit, but then
Because that's where I thought it was,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't. And I was like, okay.
Because if my opinions have landed on any of you yet, I always choose the childhood friend because I feel guilty for them, and so
the inner guilt.
So I
of the
can't
childhood
anytime
friend.
I'm like, even if the new girl is like
The objectively
like,
best
yeah,
girl.
I'm like, I can't. It's too the childhood friend should win. They were there first. Like they got
They
dibs.
were there first.
you can't
Oh,
state
God.
claims in like 5th grade. That's not
Sure,
fair.
you can. In anime, that is fair. That shit. If you fall in love in 5th grade, that's for life.
It's the law.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah. So, but that was cool. I didn't have to give up on Nazuna. That was good. That was rad. And
That was rad.
the animation was pretty great, and I like that every now and then the animation would bump up in quality anytime they were just wanting to have a character stare at boobs.
Yeah.
Like, it was already a pretty show, but then the animation took like an extra step up when they're like, hey, tits.
They also did it for the sky.
Yeah, the nightscapes were
yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I really like the color palette.
Yeah,
of
very
the
nice
show.
color palette in
I
general.
like that like super stylized color palette that they had going on.
Also, the dub was
Nice.
good.
I thought the dub was good too.
So obviously it's High Dive, and so I was watching this as I was watching Eminence, and how I will complain about Eminence on every fucking episode of this podcast because I hate it so much. I feel like they just tried so hard for this one, but Eminence was supposed to be their big show that
Right.
they were going for, but then they fucked up that one. But I thought they did a really good job with this one.
Actually, so you're saying it's high dive, but originally I was looking where to stream it, and they were saying it was on Disney Plus first,
Disney Plus,
which
this is
felt
a High Dive
really
exclusive.
No, because if it was on Disney Plus, it would be in Disney Plus jail. Like the
It
last
would
two
be in
good
Disney Plus
shows
jail,
that
but
came out.
so when I looked up like
Maybe they
where
sold it last minute because they didn't think it was gonna do well.
maybe, but like I saw that it was supposed to be
I
streaming
heard that it wouldn't
on
be on their brand.
Could you
on
look that up?
and that's why it was so surprising. I'm like, this doesn't feel like something Disney Plus would like
do
want to have.
And maybe
I mean, it's not in their catalog. Like, if you try to search for it, it won't come up.
Yeah.
But it felt really random where it's like, you know, when you search like XYZ show and then like streaming services or something like
came
that.
up for Disney
It
Plus.
was like the results were saying like it's on Disney Plus. And I'm like, that's so
Weird.
fucking random.
It sure does say that. Disney
Right?
Plus right there. Call the night.
Yeah. But if you try to watch it through, like if you click like anything like
Yeah,
that, it goes to nothing.
Yeah.
And nothing says
It's not
that
even
they
like a whole-
sold it or something.
Not that I saw. I didn't look super deep into it, to be honest, but I was thoroughly confused.
I don't really see anything about it. Maybe it's on Disney Plus on like
International.
yeah.
It's very possible.
Because
but
I just know that this was an exclusive. Because one, if you go on High Dive, it says it. But two, I don't know if it was Anime New York City or if it was Comic-Con, but they had a booth there, and Call of the Night was like
was their main attraction.
No, so Eminence was their main attraction.
I
but
think
Call
I
of the
remember you
Night-
saying that.
Yeah, but Call of the Night was there, and then also Danmachi was there, and then a couple things I didn't know of, but that was like their selling points, and I felt like they weren't even giving that much out about Call of the Night. I only knew about it because Ryan watched it, and he was like, "Oh, that was a really good show," or it was like currently airing, or
Right, something like
yeah.
that.
And so I knew about that, but they were advertising that those were all High Dive exclusives because I guess they were trying to get a bigger name, I guess.
It's weird because I remember, and I don't know if I said this on the previous time we were watching a High Dive show. I remember when High Dive was first launched, and they had this whole big giant promotion at Anime Next, and they were doing like, you know how like you go to a convention, they always give you like a booklet with like information, and it'll have like the panels and like the floor
Yeah.
layout and stuff like that. So all the bags were High Dive branded. and like a bunch of stuff was High Dive branded because they were sponsored.
Interesting.
I think they were the main sponsor that year,
Interesting.
which felt really weird. So like there was a lot of hype surrounding them becoming a streaming service.
And how many years ago was that? Do you know?
I would say it was maybe like 18, 17 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like going on 10 years ago at this point. But I know I'm getting old.
Not that old. It's more like 8 years, but
No, because I'm 26 now. So if I was 17,
you're right. Forgot that.
anyway,
People are different ages.
but yeah, so I remember there was like a lot of hype surrounding them launching, but then I never heard another thing about them until we watched whatever show Mike was suggested, and it was on High Dive, and I was like, oh, I forgot this even existed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like nobody talks
I
about
think it was
them.
Flip Floppers. Was Flip Floppers on High Dive?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
no. I don't.
What
That's
did we
why
have
I'm
to
like,
watch
I don't know.
There was
what,
another show we
Was it
watched,
Flip Floppers?
and I
feel like
remember
we
I
had to go watch Flip Floppers.
I don't-
Oh,
Verve, yeah.
and I complained about.
But Flip Floppers is on Crunchyroll. But because I found out about High Dive on Verve. That's how I knew they existed, because they were originally partnered with that. But then when Sony bought Crunchyroll,
Right.
High Dive left,
Right.
because they were like, we're not.
We don't want to be part of this merger.
Yeah, it wasn't a merger thing. I think it was more just like they have more like there's bigger backings now, and we're not part of like it's not beneficial for us to be here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we definitely watched a show on that was exclusive to High Dive, because I remember complaining about how shit their app is for the TV.
I do remember you complaining about
I
it.
And
remember
guess
that, but I
what?
don't think it was
The
for a
app
show
for
we
the
watched.
phone
Really?
is just as bad.
No, their UI is awful.
Awful.
It's awful on every version. They're and their subtitles suck too, because they're off by like a minute.
And if you open the app and you start watching a show, it immediately starts you on Japanese audio, which I guess that could make sense. But then if you switch to English, but then you close out of the app and reopen it, it will send you right back to the Japanese.
I always just have it open on my computer, so I don't close the tab. Always English. I don't have to deal with that.
But yeah, general thoughts for the show, and not High Dive in general.
Yeah, we did our thoughts on
Yeah.
High Dive.
I thought it was a like cute, fun, like kind of mindless show to watch.
Yeah.
I was really entertained. Like I said, like the nightscapes were so stunning. Love like the super bright, vivid colors. Although I will be honest, I guess this is more specific, so I'll save it for later.
Okay.
When it's like more spoilery time. But yeah, overall I thought it was a good show. I thought it was really fun. I feel like the main guy is like the most polite, least horny 14-year-old in the world.
Definitely. It was
Well,
He's trying his absolute best.
he is also kind of horny though.
But
It's
like,
like-
so
yeah,
slightly.
like it's like he doesn't
Slightly,
even
he is just
doesn't
staring
even-
at tits
he doesn't
openly.
even know that
But
he
he's not
is,
trying
so
to.
that's at least
he's
a
not
little
like,
bit
oh,
better.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
I
not
get
trying
what
to
you're
like
saying.
sneak a look kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
if it's
he's
in-
just
he's-
being like,
if they're in front of him,
Sneaky look.
you know, but he's not actively seeking the tits.
Yeah.
right.
I agree.
Also, I'm going through our list of shows. Absolutely none of the things I recommended were on.
So I don't know if it
On
was
High
something
Dive.
you recommended. I know we watched something on High Dive though.
No, I don't think any of these are on High Dive.
Mine, Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
Yes.
Oh well, yeah, but
Got it.
you were saying. I thought you were saying like longer ago.
Got it.
No. I just couldn't remember
Oh,
what show we
okay.
watched.
I didn't-
The
I didn't-
second it was like it's not Mike's pick, I just knew. I was like, oh, I know what show we
Well,
watched.
because I knew we watched it on that, but I was like, but you said it was me, and I was like, there was nothing I watched.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I didn't think of mine, because I was just like, well, it's Mike's show, and I was like, I feel like we did watch something.
Yeah, I was like, I don't.
because I originally watched that on YouTube, and then
Gotcha.
it was on.
But
Should we move to spoilers?
well, I mean, I knew you recommended it.
Yeah,
but-
I mean,
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, yeah, we still do the circle.
I
That's
guess
true,
so.
that's true.
I obviously liked the show. I thought it was a nice, refreshing, short show.
It was refreshing.
Yeah,
That's a
like,
good way to put it.
We had a lot of shitty. Well, I didn't think that what's it called was that shitty,
Railgun?
but like it was long. So 2 long shows.
We're
and
gonna have one
shitty
more
show.
long show, and then the rest of my
Yeah.
recommendations
So
are short.
I thought it was a good break, and I had just watched it, and I was like, you know what?
I'm
Like,
gonna
just
recommend
gonna-
One Piece, all of it.
We already made this joke.
but I think it's really pretty. I actually really enjoyed the music in it. Like
Me too. I thought
music
the
was solid.
soundtrack was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
solid.
I didn't really care about the intro and outro,
I
but
liked
I did
them.
like the soundtrack in general.
like
I
if
feel
I
like
just
the
didn't
outro
feel
was
like
so much better than
yes,
the intro.
I do.
I thought
agree.
the intro was really odd because the first time I was watching the episode, like the first episode, I thought the show started because there's that part where it just pauses basically,
Yeah.
and they're just like
Yes.
staring at something. I was like, oh,
I was
all
like,
right,
oh, they
Yeah.
the
tricked
show
me.
started.
I kind of like
I
that
was
though.
Yeah.
and then it just drops into the song again. I was like, this
but
is
I like that when it pauses, it's them watching the intro.
Like-
I
Yeah.
thought that was cute.
it was cool, but also a waste of time.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I
I mean, it
sometimes
fits within like that minute and a half. So.
Yeah, I sometimes left it on, but sometimes
Same.
skipped it,
Same
like,
with the outro.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 for
Yeah,
me.
it wasn't like a absolute skip, and it wasn't
Like a watch every time.
Yeah, like I need to see this, but I do agree that I liked it. I more likely left the outro for the next episode
Same.
to start versus
Same.
the sometimes skipping the intro. But I just thought like even in the first episode at the end when he's talking to her and talking to her about the night and everything, there's like a song that's in the background of his little like motivational like
Yeah.
speech, and I thought that sounded so good, and it's just such a pretty show.
Is that the only episode where they do that as it's rolling to the credits?
It actually doesn't roll into the credits. It stops because I had watched a couple episodes today just to kind of
Refresh.
yeah, because I just watched this like a month or two ago, so I was like, I
Right.
don't need to watch the whole thing. But I had watched a couple. It actually doesn't roll into the credits. It does stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, but in my brain I thought it was like doing like a during credits scene.
Yeah, like how
Um,
ReZero does.
right.
Yeah.
Um, So thank you. Because
High Dive also does that thing where like they leave like 5 minutes at the end of each episode for the credits, and you're just like, okay, I guess we'll just sit here.
What?
Or, like,
I didn't think that this show did that.
yeah, after the ending ends, then it's just the black screen of scrolling text for all.
Yeah,
the,
it's
all the-
English credits.
Yeah, and it's like always so long and so slow.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Didn't
just fast
bother
forward
me.
through it, but
I
like,
didn't
And
realize.
High Dive's thing, it doesn't have go to next episode
Until
until
it's
it all
ends, yep.
ends.
Yes, that is one thing. But luckily, I like the outro song, so
Same.
it wasn't a big deal.
But then you just skip through.
yeah,
the
like if
English.
I was doing something,
Because the
then
English
I,
credits are silent. There's no noise.
Yeah.
It's really
I
weird.
didn't even realize that, and I guess it was.
they
Just
do it for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
the High Dive does it for everything.
Interesting. I don't know, but we can go into spoilers.
All right, hey, spoilers from here on out. So keep watching anyway.
Yeah.
We need the view time.
Um.
Okay, so real quick,
Yes.
just want to say,
yes.
so he says he's getting real good at sneaking out, and he has to
Yes.
sneak out every time.
Yeah.
But then later, when Nazna wants to go to his house, he like goes in and he's like, "Oh yeah, my mom's never home. She's always working."
So why the fuck does he need to sneak
That's
out?
my point. That's why I was like, "Why are you sneaking out then if
I
your
didn't-
mom's never fucking
I
home?"
didn't think about that, but I guess that's a good point. But I assume
And
when
also-
he is sneaking out,
Also,
she
she left
is
him
there.
money, so like, clearly she knows that he just like goes out. I guess.
But also, like, does she just not care that he doesn't go to school?
Guess not.
I don't know. I wish that they
Like, is this like an
briefed on
absentee
that.
parent type
Yeah,
deal
I guess
thing?
so.
I mean, what's other anime moms or parents have also not given a shit if people go to school or not. To be
I
fair, it's
guess.
not like it's an uncommon trope.
I guess, but I'm just like, how are you just allowed to not go to school? Like, is the school not contacting anyone? Like, hey, your kid hasn't shown
I
up in
mean,
3 fucking
I-
weeks.
Fucking
I didn't
Are
go to
they
school a
dead?
lot, and they
Subaru
didn't
never went to
contact-
went to school either.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that's fair.
it's not uncommon.
What is this lifestyle where you just can make the choice you want to stop attending school and then nobody gives
I
a
mean,
shit?
I never
'Cause we
didn't
don't
go
have that
for
lifestyle
long,
here.
But the school actually didn't call like my
Really?
parents when I.
The only person I know that
wouldn't
got
show up.
school called on them was because they were like 5 misses away from being held back. And the
Damn.
school was like, "Hey, you don't start showing up, you're getting held back." And they were like, "Oh, okay."
All right, I guess
School
I'll show
called
up.
my parents when I came in late one day. It was so bizarre.
I
I've never gotten
wonder.
the school called on me for not going.
I wonder if it's your guidance counselor. Like they're
I don't know.
taking
My
the-
guidance counselor
'cause
was
my
a
guidance
piece
counselor
of work.
didn't like me, so
maybe that.
she's like, good, she's not here. Then I don't. Have
And
to deal
and
with
she
her.
didn't like submit my application for a school that I paid for, and I was like, hello. And I was
Interesting.
wondering why. I was like, I didn't get a rejection, acceptance, anything from them, and I was like, this is a weird way to say no, but okay.
Well, I hope
and
it
then
wasn't your top choice.
It wasn't, but I
Okay,
was
thank
like,
God.
so then I asked, I was like, how come this happened? They were like, oh,
Did you get your money back?
absolutely not.
Oh, Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would have been
$50
pissed.
down the drain.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah, I was. Still mad about it today.
I would
As you should
have
be.
made them pay me back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the lady can pay me back.
Why? She can't hand you $50? She sure can.
She stole your $50. She can absolutely get.
She can give you. You should show up there today.
Knock on her door. Where's my money, lady?
Just fucking loan shark.
Kick down her fucking door, be like, "You owe me $50,
gonna
you
break
bitch."
your
But you owe me
fucking
$50,
kneecaps.
but 8 years worth of interest.
Yeah, literally. I've been waiting for a check to show up at my door, and it hasn't. So I'm gonna break your fucking kneecaps. Anyways.
Anyway,
Anyways.
but in general, I guess, or not in general, but I just thought that was weird that like
Right.
his mom, I guess, apparently is never there. So what the fuck are you sneaking out for?
I didn't even think about that, but that's a good point.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, clearly it didn't matter. And again, she left money for him, so clearly she knows he's
but
bailing.
she made
Maybe
it
she
leave
works
money
late,
for-
and she's like, "Hey, you might want
You
some
need dinner. I don't think it was specifically so you could roam
All right, well,
the
I'm
streets.
just saying. It's like,
Because that was also why he couldn't get caught by the police because he couldn't be brought.
well, yeah, I know
home.
that.
Can I ask a question? So his friend with the hoodie, whose name we only see him like 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, the blonde one.
Yeah. So he saw him with like some woman.
Yes.
I'm like, is that a girl your age? Is
I'm
this like
I'm
an
wondering
adult?
if they're gonna go into it into season 2.
No, Nazna saw him with a woman.
Yeah.
Not he didn't see her.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know. I don't think he
didn't
knows
he see
that
when
he's.
they were holding hands?
No. Nazna did.
Oh, yeah.
That's
she
why.
saw
That's
them
why
holding-
she
that's
grabs
why
his
she-
hand.
Yes, you're
Oh,
right.
okay.
But
I don't
was-
think he knows that she's seeing that
But,
he's
like-
seeing anyone.
But the
I
girl
don't think it ever
does.
came up.
The
Yeah, but I
girl-
don't think
yeah.
it ever came up because
Oh,
the
okay.
girl never shared that he was seeing a woman until
She's a
he brought it
homie.
up.
She
Right.
just-
Yeah,
she just-
I don't think she shares unless one of them brings it up.
Right.
And then she's like, "Oh yeah, I knew."
Gotcha. But yeah, it
Um,
just seems so
True,
odd to
bro.
me. I was like, why is this
I'm wondering-
adult woman with this
Yeah, I'm
literal
wondering
child?
if it's gonna come up in season 2. I don't know if they were greenlit for season 2, but
I kind of
would
hope
assume
so
then.
because like
Yeah, because I'm assuming they're a vampire.
it's not that
That's
it
what
was
kinda seemed
unsatisfying the way it ended.
yeah,
But like
there just wasn't much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
agree.
I think the ending is fair enough where if they don't make a season 2, I could be like, yeah, they're continuing on like their journey of self-discovery and like coming of
Yeah.
age and blah blah
There's
blah.
been nothing announced but a season 2.
And bullshit, right? But I would like to see where this would go.
Yeah.
Also,
Like it's not crushing, but
are they both asexual?
Who?
Nazna and Co.
No, Nazna
Yeah.
absolutely cares.
Okay.
She absolutely gets flustered about it, so I don't think she's asexual about it.
I
She
don't know.
likes
They
them.
both just seem like, especially
I just
Ko
think that they're just,
seems
like,
so
unexperienced.
No, because like
because
Ko
he
when
wasn't interested in all
with-
those girls.
when he figures out that the other vampire is actually a guy, and he's like, I guess it's fine. Like I don't really care.
No, I think he doesn't care, so maybe he's bi. But like, I think it's more like he.
I don't know. For me, it was
I was also thinking that like maybe he's kind of like asexual in a way, but I think it's more just that like he's never cared about people.
that's what,
Like in
that's
general,
how I thought.
Yeah.
like
too.
not romantically, right? It's just he never cared ever.
gotcha.
Like and
Yeah, because
so
he always
and-
says he like can't understand.
yeah, so he's
Yeah.
like learning to care, and like Nazna's the reason
Right.
that he is getting there.
Because
Gotcha.
like he also gets flustered about it, not as bad as Nazna does, but like so I feel like
Also,
Right.
he is staring at tits
Well,
at
that's because
times,
he-
and they
he
bring up
wants
that
to be-
he's saving porn on his phone every now and then.
Yeah,
And
which
so-
I thought that was really funny.
You save it on your phone, then you get flustered about it,
then
delete
you
it,
delete
then
it, and then you go through this endless cycle of torture.
Which, who the fuck was that lady? She just knew everything.
Oh my god. Okay, this actually bothered me. She gets introduced in what, episode 10?
It's like like an episode or two.
yeah,
before
it was
everything's
definitely
over.
late.
And I was like, this. I'm like, first of all,
Really
I
good
want
at
to
her
see
job.
the show of this woman detective just going around fucking up some vampires. Where is this show?
Well, we don't know that she does though,
okay, but
because she did say
made
he
a
was going to die either way, and
You're
I'm curious
right,
if
but
she.
she did make a convincing show of it.
Yes,
And also,
I think it might be a show
right.
personally, but
No, I think so too.
yeah, but I mean, it could be wrong. Maybe she just has
they don't
shit taste
explain
blood
it.
and like
Like,
weakens
why
people.
did nobody ask? What do you mean he was gonna die today anyway?
Well, they explained it later.
Did she?
No, she didn't. A vampire did.
Oh, because he
yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
the blood?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he didn't have the blood for 10 years. Nazna says that. She's like, oh, yeah, if you don't eat for 10 years. But because he's freaking out. And she's like, you'll be fine. Like, don't worry about it.
Right.
And she, like, tries to comfort him. And
Right.
to varying levels of success.
Yeah.
Possibly no success, really. I mean, he was still freaking out and had to go to, like, 3 other people to figure out what was going on. But they were also very cute.
Nasuno and Co.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were very cute, and to get into more specifics of the childhood friend thing, very happy because it did seem like it was
Yeah,
absolutely
for
that she had
sure.
feelings for him, and maybe she does, but I think it became more like
I didn't
she
really
was
think
just
she did.
happy that they were hanging out again, and she just missed him.
I don't think she had feelings for him.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'm more inclined that she's just happy that like they're hanging out again.
Yeah.
But like it felt like there was that vibe there for a little bit, and I was like,
I
oh,
think
maybe
that-
she does. But then
Yeah.
once she found out about Nazna, I feel like she was like, he's
All right.
found somebody, whatever.
Yeah. Although I did think it was funny. So, like, when they see each other again, and she's like, oh, you haven't been coming to school. And he's like, oh, wait, I did have a friend as a kid.
And he did
Right?
it twice.
And then he's like, oh, wait, I had another friend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he literally tells Nazuna the story of how he has no friends.
Literally.
He puts the
I want
transceiver on
season 2.
Nothing.
I want season 2
He
for
just
him to
has
just
10 more friends.
Yeah,
Oh
10
my
more
God,
friends.
I
He's like,
did
oh my
it.
god, I forgot all about
He's just
you.
the most popular kid in school.
Yeah, like
He has amnesia.
Yeah.
that same scene of like him like watching ants. It's because then the blonde haired kid shows
Yeah,
up for
yeah,
that, and then next season flash up. There's like the entire classroom behind him. Like, wow, these ants are really cool. You're really cool, Co.
Oh my god.
Like, I have
But
had
yeah, that
friends
was
this whole time.
for me. I was like, you're gonna make it the exact same
Yep.
setup. Are you
Yep.
fucking serious?
Not even a different story.
no,
Like,
not even a different day.
Same,
Yeah.
same like 5 minutes span.
Yes, yeah.
He's like, wow, I really did have friends.
I also
What's a friend? How do you know
my
if you
God.
have friends?
Yeah, and then he's going through like this whole long speech about the guy, and he's like,
Seki.
I didn't know what friends were, but I knew he was my friend.
Like,
Seki.
I'm like, what?
That's what his name is.
asking what's a friend?
But I also thought it was kind of funny that like there wasn't a lot of fan service in this show,
No, it was very
but
mild.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny that there would be those few times of fan service of just like bump increasing quality of animation for bouncing boobs and stuff. But then they would go out of their way to make sure they like never showed panty shots.
Yeah.
Because it would be like every time a character is doing anything with a skirt, they'd be like, "Can you turn around, please?" So you're not, and they'd be like, "Oh, all right." And then they would just cut to the person already being down. And you're like, "What is this anime? I've never seen this happen." Like,
Unheard of.
like I feel like you're like when you're watching an anime, it's almost like you're getting fucking like blue balled by them. You're like, I expect panty shots per show. Excuse
I
you.
think that's just you, Mike.
No, I feel like Mike is right though. Like most anime, you expect like
You expect it.
depending
Like,
on the
I
genre.
don't expect it, but
depending
it's
on
not
the,
as
the genre. Like
shocking
I don't
anymore.
expect to get like panty shots in like Attack on Titan.
Where are my
Right,
panty
but
shots?
this show gave you the
Mikasa,
inclination.
Give me my fucking
Yeah.
panty shots.
But in this show, it gave you
God.
the inclination that you
That
probably
you
see
would
one
get
every
a little,
now and then.
a little bit of fan
The
service.
only underwear I think you even see is from the childhood friend when she's like gonna go take a bath and she's like drops her
Oh
skirt.
yes,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
I think that the beginning.
That's also like the most fan service thing you got.
I feel like
that in
this
the bath
show,
for
this show is very good at making you think it's gonna be something and then it's not, because I feel like when I first saw Nazuna like on the poster and Ryan said he was watching it, I was just like joking with him and I was just like, oh, you're a pervert. Like, this is a pervert. She's wearing the teeny tiny like microscopic
Although, did you
top.
notice her top changes in like episode 11? That really bothered me.
No, that was the
No.
pool episode, right?
No. In episode 11, so she has like the cutout top
Yeah.
the whole show.
Uh-huh.
And then in episode 11, she's wearing a different top out of literally
Oh my god,
nowhere.
she owns a different
No,
top.
he
It's
literally.
not, that wasn't the pool episode.
No, the pool episode was like maybe episode 4 or 5.
No, it was not. When they go to the pool, that's like episode like 9 or 10.
It's absolutely not.
It is not 4
It's
or 5.
before he even meets all the other vampires.
It's definitely not 4 because I watched up to 4 today. So
Okay.
maybe 5, but it's definitely not
But-
4.
Can also, speaking of him meeting the other vampires,
Mm-hmm.
that scene where they're all like thinking in their heads like, oh, this tactic
Yes,
is so
yes.
strong. I thought that was really funny. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And he's just like, No.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's like, I'm
also,
good.
if I
when
had to
they-
choose
very
right
loyal.
now, no.
when all the girl, like when we first see all the other vampires, I was like, you can't be introducing a harem halfway through the season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this show is so good at
Yeah.
making you think that
Because
something's gonna happen, and it doesn't.
you can't just saddle me with one girl for like 6 to 7 episodes,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you give me like a flood of girls. Like you have to do it within the conventions,
like
of the
a
harem.
girl an episode, and
right?
keep
Kind of a
introducing
thing. And then
them.
you just
Yeah, yeah.
collect the girls, kind of
Yeah.
a thing,
Mhm.
as one does.
But just no, they're just there.
Do you think that office worker can become a vampire? Because she's
That
definitely
office
part of like the
worker.
harem aspect. Because he's like, I'll turn you into a vampire.
I think
Because they only have a year limit. Do you think that she was already bit by Nazna beforehand? Like, and she's already past that time?
no.
No.
Well,
Oh,
no,
wait.
that's a good point because she had already been going to Nazana, and you don't know how long it is.
That's true.
I was thinking about that when I was like, oh, like, because she had gone to her in the past. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was like, maybe her time limit's already up, and like,
So she can't become
yeah.
one.
I mean, like, it definitely felt like she got a vibe more of like she just knew that was an option. Now her life's already kind of better just because she had.
She has
like,
hope.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily she was going to do it anyway.
Right.
But I was curious. I was like, oh, I wonder if she even can. Like,
Although when
Yeah.
when they push her out the window post massage, I was like, just let
don't
that
let her
bitch
go
die.
to work. All right.
All right, bye.
Now she'll never go to work again.
Also, I think this is either 12 or 13, but when the cops are like, hey kid, can we talk to you? And he jumps off that bridge
Fucking
or
bridge,
crosswalk
yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, so-
I'm like, he's
so-
dead. This bitch is dead. You can't land that fall.
That was
so
like
there's
20 feet.
actually
yeah, your
theories.
legs are broken.
There's theories about that he's already changing.
I would
Like
believe
that's
that.
I
He
would
was
believe it.
doing
was
some
faster, He
yeah.
was doing like these parkour things and I noticed it more because Ryan had told me that theory, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting
Especially
theory.
when he like smashes
Yeah.
the chair. I noticed that too.
And when I was rewatching today, he's very clumsy. He like just fucking like when she kisses him, like he just like falls over. But it like towards the end, he's like so
Steadfast, but
agile,
still
and
surprised,
stuff.
but steadfast.
Yeah. So I think that's a
Ooh, I like that theory.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't know
so
if that's
he-
how that works, but it definitely.
he-
I was also thinking that
He
too.
jumped off the bridge, and I was like, I guess that's a way to end the show. Okay, like because I wasn't thinking like there was. I'm like, okay, there must be a season 2, but then he jumped off, and I was like,
That's it.
and then he's doing the
End of
whole
show,
like
roll credits.
emotional speech
Yeah.
over it, and I'm like,
I can't become a vampire. I can't be a
let
human.
me just send
End
it.
it.
And I was like, this is an interesting takeaway. All right.
No.
Yeah.
And the cops are just like, what the fuck?
I did like the full circle thing though at the end there where he's like buying some beer, huh? And he does
Yeah.
like the whole
Yeah.
like same creepy outline. He also very much gave off creeper energy in the fucking with the office lady when he was doing the massage, and she's like, I gotta go, and he's like, you can't leave.
I
Yeah.
know.
And I was like, whoa, dude.
What is happening?
I do think, I mean, this is an anime in general problem, but
Yeah.
I really just wish he was not 14.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
like
And
17.
they bring up that he's like, if you stated in the first episode he was 14 and then never mention it again, I could easily forget he's 14, right?
Yeah.
But you
They
just
bring it up so
keep
often.
saying it.
Yeah.
And, like, especially 'cause-
14.
Because, like, he's now gonna be-
schoolboys.
Yeah.
I'm like,
because he's going to be 14 forever,
essentially.
which makes it
Worse.
weird. Yeah.
But also, okay, so this was bothering me as well. The other vampires who also look like they're high school age, like let's not say 14, maybe like
One of them's like an
16,
office
17.
lady, but yeah.
the one, but the
Yeah.
rest of them look fairly young, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you obtaining beer? You can't just be sliding over an ID saying
I
you're
think it's just the older lady.
No,
No,
because
when they go to the
Nazna's absolutely
karaoke,
going
they
and
get
buying
the
them. She
beers.
might be
Oh,
21.
I guess she looks 15 to me, but all right.
She might be 21.
Um,
But like, and 14's the legal
you don't
thing in
want to
Japan,
want
so it
she
doesn't
wants
really
to
matter.
Fuck a
But
14-year-old? What is this?
well, she's fucking like 500 years old, so
No, she says she's only been a vampire for decades, not centuries.
still.
So
But like, I mean, regardless, that's whatever. I can hand
Yeah.
wave that shit. But just like, I feel like all they needed to do was just adjust the time frame and make him like 17.
but
Yeah.
they don't see it as a.
I know.
It's
like,
a cultural
why-
difference.
I know.
Yeah,
I
like,
understand.
So why
Like,
would they?
I know, like, because it's a thing in like so many anime, and it's like whatever. It felt odd for this one because it felt like arbitrary time frame for this child.
But you know what's
Like a lot of other times, it's like, oh, like I mean, technically it's still kind of a good age. He's trying to figure himself out, but like I don't know, it felt kind of odd, and then that they kept bringing it up because usually it only comes up like once in a show.
Yeah, they
unless they're
say
at
it like
school.
the opening, and then they're like, "All right, no more age talk."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like, and the office lady was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm 14," and she's like. What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, she's like, I am like 30. You gotta go away, bro. And he's like, I'll turn you into a vampire. And he's like, oh yeah, I know she has to fall in love with me. I'm like, you're gonna be 14 forever, and you want this office lady to fall in love? Like, she's gotta be weird then. And
Yes.
same with the detective, because she also meant that he was supposed to be hitting on her, like
And then,
for real.
but then
the next
the
time.
detective is like, "Oh, you're so young. You should be out on the streets. Hello, police."
Like, so I'm like, all right, hold on. What? Like, why is
What-
everybody hitting on this 14-year-old boy?
Yeah. And the detective was like, "I was hoping you would be hitting on me."
Yeah,
What happened?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, and that's,
But maybe that's a normal thing there.
I know
can't
the 14, but
imagine
it's still, I don't know. Like,
'Cause
I don't
I
know
feel-
what it was about this show and how, but like it was just the way this show was set up that made it feel like the 14 was weirder than any like usual.
In my
I guess
opinion,
so.
no matter
I think
what
it's just because they talk about it more.
the age of
Maybe.
consent is, a 14-year-old still looks like a 14-year-old.
Except in anime.
He looks like a blobby child.
Yeah, you like
but he
anime
looks
makes
like
you
he could be 16
yeah,
or
like
17. so
anime
it's
makes
like,
you generic high school age.
Yeah.
I guess.
So like a lot of times you could just be like, you could just not think about it, and you'd be like, that person's at least it could be 17, 18.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, sure, as long as nothing points it out, I could think that in my head.
Yeah.
But with him, they brought it up all the time, and like in universe, he looks like a child. So
Hey,
like a lot of people are hitting on him,
if
and he
you
looks
watch
like a
this
kid.
show, take a shot every time they mention his age.
Yeah.
literally.
But I don't know. It just I don't know what it was about this show in particular. I just found it slightly odd. Because I've watched other shows that have also young
I
characters.
think it was
and stuff,
because
but-
there were people in it that were not vampires that were like hitting on. I feel like that's
yeah,
what
I
makes
think
it
I
weirder.
think, but also because say like the people that he like was flirting with him or whatever, if they were also high schoolers, not a problem.
Also, but just the fact of vampires, I feel like there's always that line of because they're like 500 years, but they turned when they were
Right.
however old, so it's not as weird. I feel like that would have been fine, but I feel like because there was like the detective lady, the office worker who
Because when you think of
Normal
like
humans.
like an office
Yeah.
worker, like detective, this seems like it's like a very much like, okay, you're an adult,
yeah.
you know, like capital A adult. Whereas like, oh, I'm a vampire and I've lived for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Like your brain can't comprehend that, and you're like, you have a face of a 15-year-old. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah, there's always that line, I
Right.
feel. Because that's like the same with like Twilight. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
you just accept it. You just
You
let
just
it
like
go.
you move on with your
But
life.
it's extra weird because there was people that weren't. So then I
Yeah.
feel like it.
non-magical
And then they were talking about
beings.
the age a lot.
Yeah, like non-mystical creatures
Yeah.
that were.
Because they definitely could have said like schoolboy, high school, and like, yeah,
But they
you
kept
could have
saying
told
he was
yourself
a
that it
middle
was
schooler, which is even worse.
Yeah, like you could have just been like, he's 16, 17. Like,
yeah, like that's like
whatever.
again, I know it's like a thing, and so it's like kind of a moot point. I don't know. For this show in particular, I was like, I feel like it should have just been like high school timeline,
But-
not middle
Yeah.
school timeline.
yeah.
But again, like I know it's in anime, that's kind of nitpicking, so like
Yeah.
whatever. And and there are other shows where I'm like, those characters are absolutely 14. You're like, yeah, whatever, you know. Like
Yeah.
you don't think about it. I'm pretty sure Yoko's 14. Like,
I think she is 14.
so like sometimes you just don't think about it though, because it's like it doesn't matter. But for this show, it felt like it kept coming up, and you're like, this is odd.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, I don't know. So I guess what did you guys think of like the ensemble cast and whatnot? Like the blonde girl.
I
And,
kind of wish we had like a little more time with them. Like they felt a little rushed because we meet them in what, like episode 7, the rest of the vampires, and then we kind of don't see them again except for the blonde girl and her like friend,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then
There's the
The-
maid cafe
Yeah.
part, so
The-
then that also is
Yeah.
The
extra
fucking
time
blonde
with her.
girl shows up, schmoozes Ko, and then gets her fucking arm cut off.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is the most violent I've seen this show. What the fuck just happened? Like, and then she gets her arm cut off again in the same fight.
I don't know why, but every once in a while, this show just goes so fucking hard, and it has no reason to do it. But it's like, you know what? We've been lax on the budget. Let's just fucking go in.
Also, I will add that every time she would change her word for something sexual, bothered the shit out of me. When she was like, "Oh, what? It's like copulation." I was like, "Stop saying copulate!" Like, Jesus Christ, just say sex. Like, it's just.
I like that bit. I thought that was really
fun,
funny,
so
especially
odd.
when she was like bosoms.
Yeah.
He's like, "Stop saying that." He's like, "What? It's sexier than boobs." And I'm like, please. Like, it works because that's what the effect she's going for is just for it to be weird. I'm like, stop, please. I don't want to hear copulate. That just makes it fucking odd.
It's. I think it works. I think it's really funny.
I thought the comedy in the show was very good. I
Me
also
too.
like.
I did think it was pretty funny every now and then.
The way they draw them when they're like, huh? And they just
yeah,
have, like, the
I like
big
the
face.
reaction shots. I think.
Yeah.
I also like when they have like. I think this happened more in like the later half of the season, but they would have these like discolored scenes, or like when he like first hears like the cop sirens and the whole screen is like red.
Yeah.
Like I really like that. I think they do a really good job.
They did a nice crossfade in that too, where it was like the pure redded out, and then
Yeah.
it faded back out, and he was in the playground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they do a really good job with like super stylized like compositions and stuff like that, and like their use of color is really excellent, especially like when they're in the karaoke booth, him and the blonde vampire, and like her admirer is like banging on the door.
I was freaked out. Like
I
it
was
genuinely-
freaked
yeah,
out.
It
I was like-
genuinely
I was
freaked
like-
me out.
she has to kill this man.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna die.
It was actually.
I like how they also just skipped the song. They like usually every now and then you get like a karaoke
little, like,
scene. They
blip.
just nope. She was like, "What was that song you just played?" I was like, "Did I miss
Yeah.
something? Did I zone out?" I was like, "Did I zone out while this happened?" I like literally
No, just
rewinded it.
instant cut.
I literally rewinded it because I was like, "I might have zoned out." Fuck. All right. And it
they
was
knew
like,
they
nope.
couldn't do it, and they're like, not gonna
Also-
bother.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Also, this is like the smallest detail, but you know how the main girl with the braids, I don't remember her name.
Nazuna?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Just
she
based
plays
on her
video
name.
games because she doesn't
On the
do
PlayStation.
Huh?
On the PlayStation.
Yes.
Because it's a B instead of a P.
Yeah. But is it just me or did that look like
It was a PS1.
Right, that's what I
It was
thought. But-
absolutely
so he
PS1.
turns it off, and she's like,
And she
"Oh,
said,
thank God, it has the
autosave.
autosave feature." I'm like, "In what
Yeah.
fucking PS1 are you
I
playing that has
also-
autosave?"
Yeah.
They were also playing games that didn't exist on the PS1.
Yeah.
Because they were playing like a more modern version of Street Fighter. It was still pixeled, but it was not a PS1 Street Fighter
Right.
game. I was like,
But I was just like, "Who had a PS1 with autosave? What PS1
she
are
was
you
also
modifying?"
playing Minecraft on the PS1. I don't know if you
don't
guys
play
noticed
Minecraft,
that.
don't you?
No, I didn't notice
When
that.
she
That's
was like-
really
when
funny.
She was like,
though.
"Oh, I found diamonds." You could hear like the
Oh,
the
yes.
Minecraft noises in the background, and I was like, "What is this console?"
Although I did think it was
It's a
really funny
PlayStation.
when she was like, "I found diamonds." He's like, "I don't know the value of that, so I don't care."
Yeah, the PlayStation. Actually, it's where they diverged in like timelines. The Sony, whatever the company's version of name is there.
Yeah.
They made the PlayStation. Then when they made 2, 3, 4, and 5, they actually never changed the design. They just kept the
Yeah.
same design.
Same body, different hardware.
Yeah, they just kept upgrading the hardware within, and we're like, why would we
Just
redesign
all their
it?
games are backwards compatible. Easy.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But yeah, I thought that was fucking funny.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Why? How are you playing Minecraft on a fucking PlayStation?
Because it's a PlayStation.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
It's not
Get
a
with the
PlayStation.
program.
Because PlayStations can't do that. It's a PlayStation.
Yeah. PlayStation 1 couldn't do it, but PlayStation can.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Or they just didn't come out with a PlayStation 1
Also,
until fucking like 2023 in that universe.
Yes. That
also
was the
in
one.
her apartment and the other vampire's apartment, I'm like, where are you getting
They're all fucking loaded.
the funds for these fucking nice ass
They've
apartments?
been around for fucking centuries, decades.
I guess, but then
You can make
I
so much
thought
money
that's
over
what
time.
The massage.
I know,
Yeah.
but then
Parlor
she,
was
when
for.
she was doing the maid cafe, she was like, "Wow, having money is awesome."
Yeah, because she was only
starts
making.
furnishing her apartment and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was only making enough money
To
have
have
a-
the apartment.
to have
yeah.
the apartment and a futon, and then she got a job that paid better and went, I could have
this
other
shit
things.
rocks.
Yeah, I could have
I
stuff.
also think she got other things because of Ko.
Yeah, no.
It never mattered until 'cause she also said her life was
believe that
pointless.
she did that, but I'm saying, I'm like, why do you have this fucking penthouse apartment?
Also, nobody lives near her apparently.
Apparently not.
So, because she was like, "Oh, I don't really have to worry about neighbors." When like we got that like where she wakes up
She
earlier.
owns the whole floor.
Literally the penthouse.
Like,
so
damn.
nobody else is there.
Yeah.
Like, that apartment was so nice.
Also, they could be in sun, right? Because the
Yes, they
window
can
was
be in the
absolutely
sun.
open.
Yeah,
Like, when
she
they're in
wakes
the
up
room.
like I don't know
It
what
was at like
episode this
8,
was,
like
but she
4
wakes
o'clock
up
or
and she's like,
something.
"Oh, it's still like the
Maybe
afternoon."
it's like the thing in Trinity Blood with the windows.
I don't think so.
I don't think we ever
No,
saw
'cause
them
at
in
the Maid
direct
Cafe,
sunlight.
it's during daytime.
Yeah.
Is it?
It starts in
Yeah.
the day.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say I don't think we ever see them in direct sunlight, but I guess we do.
I think we do, and I don't think sunlight's a problem for them.
I don't think you see it. I think they're just in it, but it is.
It's not like
daytime.
explicitly said that
Yeah.
they're standing in the sun
Right.
type deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Do we assume all of them have regular lives? Like, is the high school girl still going to high school?
I don't think so.
I don't think she goes.
I think she just plays
Yeah.
a high schooler, if that makes sense.
like I think
To like attract
she's
people.
a girl from a different school and like meets them outside or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think she's
actually
actively
going.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then like the other not like the businesswoman vampire, but the other ones, like, do they have not the Maid Cafe one, but like the other, there was 2 more. Yeah,
there was the boy,
the boy, like,
Yeah.
does he have a job?
probably.
Like,
Or he uses,
Or,
or he
the
uses
people
his,
just give him.
Oh,
the
yeah,
yeah,
or
money.
he
that-
uses offspring as
Yeah.
he uses his literal slaves.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
when he was just like when they're like, we did all the stuff for you, and it's just the flat face of like,
All right, leave.
yeah, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Anyway, here's my guest. Like,
Get out of my house.
I thought that was interesting, and I was like, because especially once they were like, hey, come in here, I need you to get me something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's gonna be a trap. And then it was
Oh,
the
you
guy.
knew?
Once he asked, or once they asked, I was like, no, it's totally not gonna be a girl.
Although my stupid ass, so it shows
Although
like
I think trap's not the right term anymore. I think that's
no, I
offensive
don't.
now.
I don't think that. I feel like that's not right. Only like in context of anime, people obviously still say that, but like
Yeah, but I think it's not looked upon fondly anymore.
it's not. No.
So I don't know what I guess female presenting.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess I don't know what the
But-
new term is.
But
that's
my
not bad.
stupidness, I like it shows like the like pan down shot like in the shower, and I was like, oh, she has really small boobs.
I thought the same thing. I literally thought the same. Like it didn't click.
No, it
that
did not
that's
click
what
at
was
all.
going
But
on.
No, because I was like, oh, hey, it's gonna be a boy, and then when they showed it, I was like, yeah, they wouldn't be showing nipples if it was a girl. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
they haven't shown nipples before, so.
Well, that's what it was. I was like, oh, this was a turn. Like it just it wasn't
The one
like
scene,
surprise.
yeah. It's like,
wasn't
because she's
clicking.
flat chested. If she's flat chested enough, it's like, whatever. We can throw nipples on there.
That was my entire thinking. I was like, wow, she's super flat chested.
Yeah.
Like, you usually don't see that in anime. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but then it wasn't even that.
And then I was like, oh, I guess that does make more sense.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, I had a really fun time with this show.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought it was very entertaining.
Yeah,
Very bingeable.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't on High Dive because I find it very annoying.
The
Honestly, I
actual-
could deal with High Dive for the most part. I mean, I still think like searching up shows and then clicking on the show and then getting to the extra episodes. It's like it's unnecessary extra steps. But like, it's the subtitles that bother me the most
it's
because
the
they're not
least
synced up.
I didn't watch with
Intuitive
subtitles, so it
user.
didn't bother me.
Like-
Well, because I watch it with subtitles because the subtitles show what's being translated when it's like showing phones and background stuff.
Same.
So
Although High Dive doesn't do it. with
it
the
does.
phones.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't notice that when I was trying to.
I don't think it was consistent, but
Maybe
they did.
because I only watched it with the subtitles for a super short period because it was bothering me how like off sync it was.
Yeah.
I
but
think it's literally off by like 30 seconds.
it is.
It's like off by a scene.
Yeah.
Because like it'd be like it'd show Ko walking and then you'd be like and then it would just be like, "Hey, I finally found you." Like, "Oh, there you are." Like hey, can I have your blood or whatever? And then it'd be like him still walking, and then it would cut to that.
And
then
then
it would
like
be
she would show up on screen.
Yeah, and like so sometimes like not sometimes it like ruins whatever's about to happen in the next scene, and you're like,
because
but
it's ahead of the scene.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's really
Well,
fucking
I'm
annoying.
glad that I didn't watch it with it because
Yeah, no, it's
I
don't.
didn't have to
don't.
subject myself to that.
And it's not even a thing. And like also, and I don't know
It's
if
more
it's
of a problem when it comes up with shows that have singing and you need the
translation to like dub problem, but the English subtitles, like you know how like sometimes you watch like a dub show with the subtitles and it's like slightly off.
yeah.
But
Yeah, like Netflix, where it's
Yeah.
it's the English sub, but they're not like it's the subtitled version for the if
Right.
you're watching the
but
dub of
it's
Japanese.
usually
They're saying something
pretty
different.
similar. With this, it is pretty different.
I
like
didn't
the-
find that.
I found like the general like phrasing and like certain words that they would use were like not similar at all.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
it definitely had some of the Netflix thing because like again
Yeah.
because it's two different versions of it because
Right.
subtitles are more
because they can't get like when you're dubbing it, you have to go
Yeah.
within your restrictions.
right.
But
But
subtitles you can write whatever you want. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean they're both trying to stick to what's there. It's just in
Right.
different ways. But
Yeah.
I thought it was mostly all right, and then sometimes it was like Netflix where it was just like totally different. But
Right.
I felt like for the most part it was fine.
I felt like it was too different. But I also don't like hearing something and then reading something that's different.
That's why it bothers me
Yeah.
on Netflix.
I-
It bothers
I-
me on Netflix so much.
Yeah, I need them to like. Usually, if I watch something with subtitles, either it has to be synced perfect, or I'm watching the subtitles because it's a different language.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it's English and English that's not matching, it drives me up a wall. Like
No,
I
I
can't
get it,
focus.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess do we want to do final thoughts?
Sure.
All right. I guess it's me first.
Yeah, it is.
So final thoughts. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I think it was very pretty. I liked basically every character, and I thought they all had like interesting motivations and everything. And I liked watching them all interact and like figuring out their problems and everything. And I think that like the like romance in it is also very adorable. Even though it's a vampire stabbing teeth into a 14-year-old child
Chomp, chomp.
over and over and over again. But yeah, I think it was very fun. The soundtrack was good. Like I had a fun time, and I would absolutely watch a season 2 if it actually exists at some point.
I hope so.
I would definitely recommend it. And I gave it a 9. So, and I think I would stick with 9. I think 9's fair. I think like I had a lot of fun with it. I would definitely like watch it again at some point. So, I'd stick with like a 9. That'd be my thoughts. Also, Nazna is the best girl.
Yes.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
literally no competition. I
Yeah.
don't understand.
I did think the childhood friend was
That's
great,
just a
but
you
she's not.
thing.
But no. But I mean, like, I like design wise, I was like, oh, I think she would be
Yeah.
the second. But like, again, she wasn't a love interest, so I don't even have to think about
Right.
it. I think that like she is just the like design wise alone. I think Nazna is the best and most interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that they would draw her that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's not always true though.
I guess.
Yeah, I thought this show was really fun to like watch. Very bingeable. Like you could really just get through this in a day. Like
That's what I did.
the animation is throughout really well done, and then there's certain times where they're like, we gotta bump up this quality to absolute max, and like when they're at their max, it's just such like gorgeous like scenery and like really pretty to look at. Really a treat for the eyes. I really enjoyed it. I thought the romance was really cute. Like, the main guy was like the most wholesome. Just like I thought them like being like 14. I think that's such a perfect way of like showing like the trials and tribulations and just awkwardness because you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
But you also like want to explore things at that age, but like you don't know how to go about things. Like they nailed that pretty well. I think I'll give this show an 8. I would definitely say watch it. I hope there is a season 2, especially because I want to see like the other vampires. Like I want more
Yeah.
development for everyone.
And the blonde kid who his
yeah,
girl is.
yeah. Like I want more development for everyone. I thought the characters were really well balanced. I want to see more of everyone, and like I want to see their romance progress, and them like actually be more than just like awkward teenagers who are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, sorry, I almost touched your hand," kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, yeah.
All right. I agree with everything that was said. I think it's a really nice looking anime. I think the soundtrack's great. I think it has a really good ensemble cast and making you care about them versus like shows where they just like introduce people and you're like, yeah, they
But then you forget they exist.
Yeah. But I thought that they did a good job. I thought they did a good job with everything. I gave it a 9 and I'm sticking with a 9. Because I just thought that overall it was really great because it was just something that I watched in a day and just binged it and I didn't feel tired of it, and that's why I decided that's what I was going to recommend, because we were watching a garbage show that was so long that I was like, you know what, we need a
nice pick me up.
It also
Yeah.
did very good in the emotional moments. I didn't mention that earlier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think it did very well in the
it
emotional
hits, and it
moments.
doesn't like. I think when he's like having like the rousing speeches and stuff, like sometimes it feels corny,
Yeah.
but like it didn't feel corny. Like it felt like it really matched like the moment and like
Yeah.
where he
and,
was.
and I think when she would take steps, like when she first kisses him and stuff like that, I think those were also moments where you're like, that fit very well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I liked their reactions
the
to
progression
it.
is really natural.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also just think I just really liked watching Nazuna, like how she makes all these dirty jokes, but then she just gets so flustered when things are actually brought up. Like I thought that was
When
so
she
cute.
lands in front of them to like
Yeah.
beat the shit out of all of them, and he's like, I love her, or want to love her, and she just
Yeah.
stops and freezes. And they're like, oh, well, she's done. We got a few minutes.
Nazuna, best girl. She's just so cute. Just overall, just very adorable. And I really liked their interactions and how they were. And I feel like it's a nice romance anime without totally focusing on it. Like it is a main point,
It
but
doesn't
it's
beat
not.
you over the head with
And
romance.
some of the
Yeah.
progression is very in the background and subtle. Like the fact that she's so hard to find in the beginning, and then she just starts being in places to find him, and then
Yeah.
actively searching him out. Like,
Yeah.
and like when she's in the bath and she hears the thing go off, and she just sprints out to go get
Yeah.
him. Like some of the progression is like that progression is very nice
Yeah.
and subtle. Like
Yeah.
after they kiss, she's just waiting for him in the park. He doesn't have to go find her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't want to talk to her yet. I'm nervous. And just leaves.
Yeah.
We almost held hands, but then she got nervous.
I just like it's really, really cute. And I just also liked I don't know, like I feel like shock value is like too extreme, but like how we talked about how it made you think it was gonna be this type of show, and then it didn't do that because I feel like like just kept going into tropes, and they're like, just kidding, this isn't actually what that show is. Like we're better than that. And then I just thought it was overall really good. So obviously I recommend it because I did.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, here's the general rating, which now is not exactly 9 because Sage did an 8.
Sorry.
So
No.
there's going to be some kind of X repeating. I think it's going to be like 8.3 or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess with that, then it would be the next show, which is me, right?
Yes, sir.
So just because I want to see if Kat's opinion changes, and I think it's also a better part of the show, I'm going to recommend season 2 of a certain scientific railgun, which is I believe 25 episodes. But after this, all of my recommendations I have in my mind at the moment are like 12, so it'll be shorter afterwards. But I'm mostly just curious to see if your opinion changes more. Well, both of yours.
Yeah.
And also just because it introduces what I think is a very interesting version of like a Superman character.
Oh, okay.
So I think it does a Superman-like character very interesting. And how do I sum up season 2? If you liked the like background shady organization shit from the first season, second season goes really into that, and it gets kind of fucked up. And it's about the fucked up shit they're doing and their Superman character and how that relates to each other, and like what Misaka's goal is to try and stop what's going on.
Neato.
And it's very, very cool. I don't remember what the second part is, but I'm pretty sure. I'm like for a fact, I don't
Right.
remember exactly what it is. But I also, if it is what I think it is, it's also fun. But I think the first part of it is really strong. And yeah. So
Cool.
that's season 2 of Certain Scientific Railgun. We'll be watching that in 5 weeks.
Yes.
And with that, we will wrap it here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for sticking around 100 episodes if you've been around.
Ooh.
If you haven't been around, thanks for joining us, or whatever. Hope you've been enjoying the time or ranting at us in paragraphs.
Yes.
We do appreciate the paragraphs.
Yeah, almost all of them have been really nice.
Yeah. People are very nice.
And even if they disagree with us, they're at least giving pretty good points about why they disagree, and they're much appreciated.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't forget to check out Kat the Midstar on Twitch. Don't forget to I think I already said like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, follow, like, whatever. Check out
That's it.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Check out us on other things. We don't
Yeah.
exist
100
anywhere else.
outros and he's still getting it wrong.
It's been a
Yes.
long day.
Oh, good lord.
Been watching nothing but anime all day. It's been long.
Well, at least it was a
Anyway.
good show.
It's true. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. We will see you guys next week with whatever the fuck we talk about.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.